Hey Mac, today
Yes,
cover the topic of the truth about jaw clicking. Tell
jaw clicking. So many doctors tell their patients if it doesn't hurt, it's okay. I don't like them.
me too.
I think that the patient needs to understand that jaw clicking may be very common and it may last you a lifetime, but it doesn't mean that it's correct. The jaw joint is not working correctly. That nice little joint looks like a ball that has a disc that's sitting on it. That disc gets in front of that joint, and this was what happened: pop, 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 pop. What that means is that that joint has been compressed into that joint, and that's not a good thing. I'm not advocating that everybody has a click, needs to have treatment. I'm saying that they need to be educated so that they can make a decision whether they want to do something about it or not.
Exactly. This is so any joint noise in the TM joint specifically is a sign of dysfunction. Does it have to be treated? That's the patient's decision. And to go back to a little bit of the anatomy that you were just describing for people who are not watching but they're listening, every joint in our body essentially is a ball in a socket. And this TM joint has a little disc that sits on top of the ball because we cannot have bone on bone for function. There needs to be some kind of fluid, some kind of lubricant between the two so that things glide and move. And in the TM joint, again, we have synovial fluid, but we also have that disc that sits perfectly on top of that ball, like you were showing. Now, as Mac was trying to demonstrate, for those who can't see, if your mandible, your lower jaw, is retruded back, that means the joint, that ball, is shoved up into the skull. So it's compressed. And so when it's compressed up, that disc that sits on top of it perfectly, it doesn't have the right space to sit there. So it's either pinched in front of it or to the side of it. It's somewhere. So it can no longer allow that joint to glide smoothly during function. Instead, it gets compressed as well. And as you open and close, it starts to click or pop. Or as you get older and older, it starts to crackle. Even worse, it disappears. Because when it disappears, that means it's actually perforated or torn. So the dysfunction will get worse with time, and it may or may not become painful. I don't know. We cannot predict that, right?
Right. And when that disc is not in the right place, then the joint is not working correctly, and you're going to have deviation of the jaw when you open or close, or you can't open enough. You can't eat a hamburger. You
That's
can't
right.
eat a hamburger, there's something wrong. And then to say, oh, well, that's okay. You'll just get used to it. No, you're robbing your life of being able to do the things that you want to do. So let me ask you this: as a TMJ treating dentist, can you work with people with a click?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so then if you can do it and I can do it, and we went to a big meeting in Japan where they're doing it all over the world, that means it can be done.
It can be done. You can
Can
actually
be done.
click to
But you,
reverse and stay on top of where it needs to be. You just have to position that jaw in the right place, right?
that's right. But you have to go to a dentist that's been trained. And so we know that the ICMO dentist, ICMO, ICCMO, International College of Craniomandibular Orthopedics, is a website. And you just got your fellowship in Japan. That's a big step. I got my
That's my
fellowship.
third one. Excuse me. Let's not
Uh,
forget. That's my third.
that's right. Well, you went to a lot of different camps. You're a CE junkie. Okay, so I got mine. But what does this fellowship mean? It means we've been vetted.
Yeah.
Those that know how to do this that came before us have vetted your work, they have vetted my work, and we have gone through all the hoops to prove that we know what we're doing because we've done it and we do it every day. You're still doing it every day, and I'm retired. I'm still thinking about it. I'm still writing about it. Go to Amazon and get the book TMJ Trifecta. It's going to explain all the stuff Pam and I are talking about.
So proud. It's so well written. Absolutely.
Well,
So
you were a part of it.
just a tiny little part, Matt. Come on. But to our listeners, thank you for bringing that up. I get calls from my office all the time still, people that are out of town, out of state or out of the country, how can I find? If you go to iccmo.org, there are a list of doctors on there that can help you. Not all of them have the same training, so you still have to vet them yourself to some extent. The ones with the fellowship or mastership, those are the ones that have really been put through the ringer. So that's a starting point for those of you who are listening. But to go back to the original question, is clicking and popping normal?
No,
No. Does it have to be treated?
that's up to the patient.
That's exactly right. So when it starts to become symptomatic or you start to see deviation in the jaw, that's a point of almost getting a little bit too late, but it's still treatable, but your outcome may not be as successful as early treatment.
And when it gets worse, more compressed, there's nerves behind the joint that can create severe pain. And people think it's an earache. They go to the ENT, no, they can't find anything, and go through the horrendous MRI experience. And all it is, it's a dental issue and it's not a ear issue.
Yeah, you're right.
There you go.